Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're still on the Polity, reaching you live from the nation's capital in Abuja, and I am Babajide. Now we'll be analyzing Peter Obi's press conference yesterday, and of course that's the first time since we've seen the Labour Party presidential candidates come, of course, to face the media, and lots has been going on since he, of course, granted that press conference yesterday. And part of what he has said would be partly what we will be analyzing today on the Polity, and then we move to the off-cycle elections. That is Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo State elections. Of course, today, joining me in the studio to my right is Dr. Suleiman Abdulahi, public affairs analyst. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Mercy. How are you?
Good to see you again.
It's a pleasure meeting you once again.
And to my left is a new face, Abubakar Mustapha. Abubakar is a political analyst. Good afternoon. Good to see your face.
Pleasure.
All right.
Mercy.
Okay, now today we'll be starting with what Yusuf Baba Ahmed said. That's the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the past election. He said the Supreme Court judgment stands accepted because we can't do anything about it. And he outrightly said, we reject it, we disagree with it, and we cannot accept it. I'll start with Dr. Suleiman. I'd like to get your general overview about what he has said, particularly at yesterday's conference.
See, if I am to look at the whole scenario coming from the electoral process, presidential electoral process, coming to where we are today, you see, Peter Obi in Nigerian politics has his own character. Is just like one of the actors when you are performing a drama that want to actually make himself unique with his particular way of performing his own act when it's come to performing drama in the theater. And today I will tell you, in the theater of politics today in Nigeria, Peter Obi is also trying to play along the same line. He has made enough name out of what? Out of nothing. Believe me honestly, if you should ask me properly, if you are looking at what it means to come this way in Nigerian politics, in the first instance, let's look at the credential of Peter Obi. Who is he academically? Let us look at his intellectual instruments. As a leader that he proved to be in Nigeria, what are his leadership values and quality before today? What has he possessed historically in Nigeria, within his domain, within his state, and within the southeast and southwest that he's claiming? What impact has he made in Labour Party before today? If we have to look at this historically by individual achievement in every standard of life, politically, academically, socially, environmentally, tell me, where has Peter Obi make a real golden milestone in history as a person, individual, or even collectively within his peer group when he was a governor? Did he make any difference? All this question I'm saying is no. But if he's trying to play a kind of gimmick within the intellectual cycle of our immediate, let me say, in this within the cycle of 19 to 22 years children within the social media, I think he's just deceiving himself. We have come to a point blank. We have come to what? To a point of a standing point whereby we need to look at it. This is the Supreme Court, the apex of Nigerian social justice. When you are talking of Nigerian law, worldwide today, that judgment passed by Supreme Court is superior to any other argument. Okay, if you deny it, you are denying Nigerians. Okay, you are denying the Constitution of Nigeria. What are we saying?
Okay, I like the fact that you said if he denies it, he's denying the Constitution of Nigeria. And now my question to Abubakar would be, he said something about we reject it, we disagree with it, and we cannot accept it, but then would welcome what the Supreme Court has said. Isn't that a major disrespect for the rule of law in Nigeria?
Yes, absolutely. As he's just said, one can play drama with the person wishes. And this is a political drama because the apex court in Nigeria is the Supreme Court. If you can accept whatever the outcome is, you can just create a chaotic environment. Okay. And no leader on earth will love his country or their country to go into anarchy. And of course, I can see that he must have resided into his shell, after the outcome, because the rationale is because he needs to show good character. That we're not here. Of course, they don't accept it. That's into my heart. But I can't come boldly outside and pronounce that this is not acceptable, because that's the apex, center one can go, right? And the final judgment is always, after this war. This is just a temporary war, so one can just leave it like that. And of course, I can see maybe he has done that just because to make sure that his fans or supporters, you
just said his fans, that's calling his bluff.
yes, supporters, of course, because he does have his own supporters that support his own work, his own ideology. You understand, and of course they might not be happy with it as well. But it's a normal phenomena. All humans, it's not bad even if other candidate feels same he has felt. He is a human. He is Nigerian, and he has right to accept it or not. But when the outcome from Supreme Court is out, so one has to surrender.
Okay.
To allow the peace to reign in the country.
Still speaking about Peter Obi, he said something about the Labour Party and its supporters will become the main opposition of the Nigerian politics. My first question will be to Dr. Suleiman. What do you understand by being the opposition of the Nigerian politics?
Let me tell you, Peter Obi is trying to work on the psychic of the youthfulness of Nigerian youthful at this point. You see, seizing their youthful exuberance, you understand now, to take it for granted. And let me tell you, today every average Nigerian is as intelligent as the other. You understand now? Yeah. So we have come of an age that, look, no any politician that will use his own political arithmetic to dislodge us from what? From our mental understanding of the game of politics today. Whatever the age, we are able to read and link up with what? With the larger society globally. We are looking at what is happening in US. Obama stand for election and won it. He ruled for good 8 years. Trump came on board for 4 years, and they told him, we don't want you. He went aside. And the old judicial process, America have taken its own procedure. And now this man wanted to contest again for the next coming election. What are you saying? Let him get to the side of it, think of the next line of action, come with what? With progressive political idea, with positive thinking, reasoning rationally, politically, came with what? A nice political ideology that we can look at Obi from a different perspective, not where he's going around. You understand now? So what I'm saying of him, he only want to take advantage of the youthful exuberance of Nigerian youth that he thought they are just a caricature. But I'm telling you, he's getting red because everybody is telling him we have come of an age. You understand now? You can't use social media to abuse our mental status.
Okay, all right. Now over to you, Abubakar. What do you think he meant by he's going to become the opposition of the Nigerian politics?
In my opinion, in my book, actually, I don't see anything wrong in that because it's a human, as always say. And he might mean that no matter what the Supreme Court pronounces, his political ideology remains, and his supporters will keep supporting him even after these 4 years now. When Tinubu is over with his tenure, he may still bounce back bigger. Because meaning we can't surrender. No matter what you're going to come and call me to give me a ministerial post, I'm not going to accept it. In my book, this is what he means by saying that they may remain opposition in that aspect. Just like a die-hard politician that I can't accept what you want me to accept. I must stand for myself. This is what I want to become. This is what I want to achieve. And I remain it, and nothing is going to change. So it's a normal phenomena. All humans have same, even though there is sentiment, it's a culture of all human beings on earth. So there is nothing wrong saying that. He doesn't mean in my book that they should take arms, right, to create chaos. We've been seeing this. We saw this in the past, and nothing happened. Nigeria is going to remain. It's not going to crack. Yeah. It's just something that we always sometimes, we are, pessimist, and we should be optimist. So I'm optimistic that, of course, this is just in my book what he means when he pronounces. Okay,
I like that you said in your own book, but now he said that his mission wouldn't stop at the Supreme Court, and of course we know that the Supreme Court is the apex court.
I think I didn't pronounce that at first. See, that why he was wrong, because see, that's the apex, the only thing he should leave it out in his mind, because this is Nigeria. It's a country, getting it independent, 1st October 1960. So you can't deal with that fact. And that's from the tribunal. We have appeal on the Supreme Court. Where's he taking it? Is he going to ICC, International Criminal Court? It's not going to work. This is nothing. It's not a country and country war. Yeah, it's internal, so it has to be so inner the country. Yeah, so I think this is just my view in it.
Okay.
But of course he wants to just become, because he insists he lost it. You could see what Bola Ahmed Tinubu did, of course, when he invited, the other candidates, like Konkoso was there, once the Villa, right? You know, and he has been calling for others to come.
But you know, even Konkoso going to visit the president Rukos with the NNPC, right? Because I remember we had some of the state's chairman in the studio where they said that we had the faction that supported Konkoso visiting the president, and some part also said it was anti-party activities. Yes,
mixed reaction. You can't live in.
Would you have thought it would be better for Peter Obi to actually merge and possibly support President Tinubu, because now he's outrightly come out to say, "Oh, I'm not going to give you my support. I'm going to be the main opposition."
Nigeria first. Nigeria first. It should be a true nationalist. Yeah, that's why we could see sometimes politicians, they play, this tribal, religious and sectional card in the name of democratic spirit. Okay. Yeah, if you say Nigeria first, of course you have to maybe, accept the defeat. All right. Yeah, just allow the incumbent government, to keep the ball rolling, so that the country will answer itself as a giant of Africa.
Okay, do you agree with the Nigerian force perspective?
Look, I maintain my stand. I don't see Peter Obi having any political principle when it comes to Nigerian politics. And he doesn't have Nigerian at heart by any standard. I stand to be corrected. His actions are anti-Nigerian. His action is anti-democracy. His actions are anti-constitution, anti-Nigerian constitution. That's what are we saying. Okay, if you are rejecting, the ruling of the apex court, what do you mean? Do you have your own constitution? Are you calling, Nigerian youth or Nigerians, your supporters come to the streets? Is your political ambition worth a life of Nigerian? A single life of Nigerian? Or a drop of blood of Nigerian? Let me tell you.
But we have to realize that he only actually spoke. He has not actually made any move yet.
Look.
Or do you think there's some things they said underneath?
Let me tell you. We have some political leaders that they have dying-hearted follower. The moment they speak, they would like to lie, to even leak their wish. Well, what are we saying? Look, in situation like this, if you are more civilized politically, I believe Peter Obi should address his followers to look less key into the government. This is the ruling of the apex court. You understand now? Let's agree by it. What is your political manifestos? Bring it on board. Show the public. Let's look. How can this government key into it? What can they take out of your political manifesto? Then let's look at they marry together with that of APC. The moment look, let me tell you, there's what you call progress in politics. You understand? Even you are in opposition, how do you make progress? You look at in every aspect of it. We have come to a point whereby we see the ruling of the apex court. Final, good and fine. Then let's look at what are your timetable. Look at the timeline of the current government. What are they doing? What they initiate to do? You look at what are they doing that is positive and what are they doing that is not is negative. Where do you need to balance the shit in action? You come out and criticize the government politic. It's not positively, and this is what we call practical criticism in the aspect of it. Rational thinking. Positive thinking, you understand now? Unless all your actions should be progressive. Let's look at what are the new inborn political ideology, political philosophy, political leadership that are inborn in you that makes you so unique, and you think that that's it. Actually, you merit it. We have to take us to that milestone, to that
while we talk about what he said about the Supreme Court, I'd like us to, of course, delve deeper into some things they said. He made mention about the office of the First Lady and most of the inappropriate funds, in his words, that of course was allocated to the office of the First Lady. That's one. And secondly, he mentioned the SUV part, where some senators were given SUVs, of course, and they've said they were given most of this money because of the bad roads we have in Nigeria. What do you have to say about that?
Look, I continue to tell you, Mercy, when Peter Obi was the governor of his state, what has he done different from the previous governors, his predecessors? What is it? What has he left behind as legacy? And let's check. You understand now? Before you criticize a higher authority, we should look at it from your own perspective. What have you achieved within your cycle that is unique and is different? That is my point of view. If you have nothing new to tell me in any aspect aspect of our existence as human beings, nationally, at state level, and even look at the grassroots level, then what are those principles you want to tell me?
So are you trying to say the office of the First Lady is totally necessary or unnecessary?
Look, office of the First Lady is necessary because
and
we are
most of the allocated funds.
Let me tell you,
required.
Yes, let me tell you. If you look at starting from the beginning of the democracy in the 25th, in the Fifth Republic, when Stella Obasanjo was there, she had this pet project we call Child Care Trust. She left a legacy there. We have that before even the coming of democracy. We have Maria Babajide that built the National Hospital. It's a living testimony to the for her. That is the best hospital we still have in this country. We have a 2 area where she have International Cancer Center. Then what are we saying?
But given the economic hardship that is currently going on in Nigeria, do you think the senators buying SUVs is the proper way to, go about it? Given that the president himself outrightly came out to say, "Oh, Nigerians should endure," and now in the endurance we are seeing our senators getting SUVs. Do you think that's the right thing to do?
Well, endurance is necessary to all Nigerians. Of course, this is something that he has inherited, and it's not something that he's just seen it in his own government. Past, even 1999 when democracy began in Nigeria, because it's still baby in this country. We can't even compare ourselves with the giant ones in America over 200 years. So hardship, of course, is there because of the access of 3 square meals per day to some people in this country. Everybody knows that, and but Tinubu cannot just address this issue just now, because he's just in the 3-4 months.
But he addressed the hardship. He addressed the hardship instantly, and one would think it would address the senators immediately.
Exactly. It's something that requires patience. Of course, it's not something that it can be done instantly. Yeah, because we just need to give him time and see what he can do. Okay. Because you could see now the issue of opening border and what have you. You're just trying to make sure that food items in this country are subsidized. So that poor people can get access, then through the masses can get access to it. Okay. And I think that's what Maslow said, an economist, that of course these are the basic needs, a hierarchy of needs. Any society that lacks, food, shelter, and the clothes, that society is going to fall in an anarchy government. I'm not saying Nigeria is going to that part. Because of course remedy. But you just mentioned it yourself, because I like the fact that you said any society that lacks food, shelter.
What I'm saying. But now we like that. We like that.
And it's something that I'm saying that it's not something new now in this country. Okay. It's something that even since then I think we're in Africa, and of course we can compare our.
But don't you think we've been pushed to the wall at this point? Of course, we keep talking about other countries being bad, but we can't settle for less or be mediocre.
We can. But I say it's a move state now. The step he has taken now. He's pronounced that. That's what we're going to do now, because this is what they basically need now. Okay, so we need to give them time and see. We can't just judge now. It's too quick. In my book, of course, that's what every country needs. Not all flyovers that we need in this country. You understand? Because because they have gone far. And we try to copy them. And if you don't know how to copy somebody properly, you may end up being in a poor caricature of what you try to imitate. So I think, we just give time, prayer, and we need also patience. Because even if you are in that position, it's a big position that you can just judge and just conclude it now. It's too early. I can see he is, physically old but mentally alert.
Okay, so
I see progress at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, so you said time, pray, patience. So let's see.
That's what Nigerian is.
Well, it's just 100 days. I'm sure it's over 100 days with.
It doesn't say less than 4 months now. So
okay, all right. Now we can talk about what Peter Obi has said without talking about INEC, because of course he has come out to say INEC was dilly-dallying with our votes. But then let's take a look at what would happen in the next election, given that INEC has come out to say they've cancelled 40 polling units for the next election. But what we don't know is where these polling units are, and has begged some questions. What is INEC going to be credible for this off-cycle elections? And then some persons have asked level of insecurity in the nation right now. So because of our limited time, I'm just going to ask my questions straightforward to our guest in the studio this afternoon, and I'll start with Dr. Suleiman. As we get to Kogi State elections, I'm sure you're smiling because we've had this back and forth most times. And what is the mood like in this state? I'm sure you do not know about, you probably would have heard about other states, but then Kogi State in particular, what's the mood like right now for Kogi State?
Yes, good and fine. From every statistical data from Kogi State, I think, let me tell you, Kogi State politics is becoming interesting and more interesting. Day in, day out, yes. Because last 3 days, last Saturday, I saw Dino Malai and Natasha from PDP, Apoti, in Kogi Central. That is the constituency of the present governor doing campaign, free and fair. With all fairness, there was no any single threat. You understand now? They have their time, political, they enjoy their campaigning process. They are staying there, was so peaceful, and they left peacefully. This is today the joy and the side attraction of politics in Kogi State. It has never been like this, where you have talks chasing one political party or agent or political actor, gladiators that is against the sitting government.
But don't you think that's a ripple effect of the fact that Natasha Akpoti won the White Lion?
No. Let me tell you. I told you. Look, we have grown beyond that level. You understand now that people can cajole people today into being what is uncivilized politically. We have come to a particular point in time. Let me tell you. Do you understand what I have experienced in Kogi State today? Let me take a case study of APC. APC, with the governorship aspirants, have over 350 supporters group in Kogi State across the three senatorial district. Across, not from Central. That is interesting. You understand now? You see everybody trying to key in market women, tribal association, school girls and boys. You understand now? Various club association are now taking active part in politics. This is the beauty of it. Look, I told you today we are in Kogi State enjoying what? The real aspect of democracy. Because you see everybody dancing to the gallery. You understand now? We are waiting for that day to come and let's exercise our what? Franchises. Yes, and this is the beauty of democracy. Let me tell you, you know what actually baffles me? That there is a particular speech given by His Excellency Abdulahi when he went to Central. It was a masterpiece. I never expected him to give that type of speech, but believe me, it was the vote of insult, political, affiliation. You understand now? Mockery of anything. He didn't insult. He said, "Look, we want peace, unity across the three senatorial district," and this is the beauty of politics. And I never expect His Excellency to have come out and give such a milestone and very historic.
Are you talking about the speech where he congratulated Natasha?
No, that is it's a unique, you understand, approach to politics from His Excellency. You see, this is the beauty of, look, we are coming in tone and in time, you understand now, with the current happening in the global society when it come what? Politics at the global level. And let me tell you, this is what is what is cropping out today in Kogi politics. Look, even when you look at the oppositions, ADC, SDP, Labour Party, nobody is telling you I'm being threatened by such group or ethnic group not to come and what? And exercise my feeling when it comes to what? Electioneering process. They are having their time. They are taking their time. And they are all enjoying it, you understand? And up till now, I'm telling you, nobody has accused the other of political manipulation that is against the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Of course, the election has not started, so you cannot say you are blaming the other party, which brings me to my next question. We are the guests from the Accord Party a few days back, and of course, I mentioned the fact that Natasha Akpoti winning that third election is one big move that would actually affect the Kogi State elections, given that she's from a particular part of Kogi State, and maybe, just maybe, most of that vote would be diverted to the PDP governorship candidates. Do you think this is actually going to affect the said election in any way?
That is not the truth of the situation on ground. Let me tell you, Natasha Akpoti got the vote of the people of Central across parties. She will win the heart of the people. She got the sympathy of the people, being a woman. That gender, the people from Kogi Central are gender sensitive today. And you look at it, they celebrated her because she is the first female senator to represent her own constituency in Kogi State and in the history of politics in that state. And she has made a history. So what are we saying?
So why was the governor outrightly fighting to start with, as if he was the one sitting or vying for this said position? And I mean, why would he even actually come out to say, oh, I've accepted it? You were not even supposed to be in that position to start with.
Let me tell you, it's his party. The candidate in APC, what is answerable to His Excellency.
Okay.
And whatever is the decision of the Court of the Appeal, he must applause it. And he applauds it. And he said he gave a congratulatory message to Natasha Apoti. And he congratulated her. And so, this is, I'm telling you, this is what is panning out today in Kogi politics. We have seen the beauty of politics in this particularly throughout this regard when we are approaching the next election, Kogi State. And I'm telling you, this will continue as we progress, and you see it making a serious headway in the political history of Kogi State, and it will turn out and it will reflect at the end result in after September 11, after the election.
All right, then thank you very much for that. And now to you, Abubakar. The INEC chairman has cautioned the political parties and has called them to order. Do you think that's actually enough to?
That's not enough. It's not enough. It's just that you have to make sure you put your money where your mouth is.
Okay.
And you know, he has to make sure that he has provided something beautiful. Okay. That the security personnel, you know, must be brought into the scene. Okay. And not only police, but also other prestatals and security personnel in the country, including SS, DSS, and others. Because sometimes if one pronounces it just like that, yeah, it might not bring the positive outcome. But we hope that everything will be in order. This is our hope. And we hope also the government will try to provide that, because political stability first. If there is instability in it, there is going to be death. It's going to be a lot of injuries, right? And violent snatchings, box snatching and other things. Yeah, so I think it's not enough, but we need to see that concrete. Yeah, we need to see that physically, practically, what measures actually, you know, they're taking in order to curtail this problem that seems to deter the progress of our democracy in Nigeria, which I believe we have all the mechanisms that we can, you know, use and adopt. I advise that they should also adopt this modus operandi in order to, you know, outsmart, you know, criminals that are having this bad character during the Saturday votes. Exactly. So that's my book. I think the government will do something about it, honestly. Okay. So just talking about free cities, and when almost over getting 30 were, you know, so nothing is going to happen.
Okay, right. We've spoken about security, and we're still going to get back to that. But then I'd like to talk about INEC itself. Do you think they're actually ready when talking about their preparedness? We've seen in the past elections where most of the voter apathy we have is because of what INEC has done, or most of the promises they failed to actually deliver. And you saw in the last election where I mean, we have receipt of INEC actually coming out to say they would actually put out results in real time electronically, and then we've seen that they've been cancelled. And now the court's judgment has said it's not compulsory, or it's not even part of the Constitution or the Electoral Act itself. It was just a promise. And now, how do you think this is actually going to shape and or affect the next election?
Well, you know, hour by hour, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, technological advancements keep coming. And readiness, we have to, you know, go about the digital, you know, system, not an analog system. Of course, I think maybe they might have something which is better than before. You know, so, and then I think in my book, you know, that needs to be shared to Nigerians at least, so that they can have peace in mind and go peacefully to vote without any, you know, fear. And I'm having confidence, of course, the government will do something about it, because they have to at least do something to show the world that the democratic system in Nigeria is growing its wing. Yeah. You know, because, you know, we are Nigerians and we love our country, and we know we have all the mechanisms that we can change the country from bad to good, from black to white. Yeah, so
all right, so INEC actually outrightly said the electronic glitches that happened during the presidential election has been fixed. What's your take on that?
Yeah, Mercy, let me go by INEC. You see, every day they make progress. We hear from INEC spokesperson, from the chairman of INEC, we tell you, look, is admittance of what? Of some errors along the process. And along the process, they will tell you they have amended such error, it's not going to occur or reoccur again. That we are making, this is the progress we have achieved. And let me tell you, in any organizational leadership, this is the type of leadership we want. The moment you are accepting that, look, you are in action, are in progress, in achievement, in moving from step A to B with the trend of event, technologically, that shows that leader is actually on top of the game. And he is looking backward to correct the errors of yesteryears. And if this is what INEC is telling us, then let me tell you, Kogi State will be a litmus test, you understand now, for INEC. That look, what happened in the presidential election, these are the corrective measures we are taking. And you can see it, this is the practical experience we are having on the field. Come to Bayelsa election, Kogi election, and what? And the Imo election. So this is what we are saying. And good and fine. If this is the type of leadership we have in INEC, good and fine. Just to be there is not just to be an INEC chairman, it's not just, it's telling, look, he is not just a professor. He's making a research as a professor from the academicians, from academia. So let me tell you what is there. Look, a lot of researches are going on. And we are looking at whereby technology is matching up with what? With reasoning, and is matching up with leadership quality when it comes to organizational leadership. So the trend of event in INEC as it's unfolding today is telling us, look, INEC is metamorphosizing from one stage to become better, and is good institution that, look, we should appreciate years to come. And this is what we are saying. Good and fine. If the voters will give us the best election we want, if all the INEC will be on ground to monitor from A to Z and give us the best result of it in Kogi State, if all the electorate will abide by what? The rule of the game, we'll have a perfect and smooth election process. And this is what we are saying. That shows what the international community will respect the Nigerian democracy, will respect Nigerian citizens when it comes to global democratic practice among the community of nations. So here, democracy in Nigeria is becoming a household name that everybody now, you understand now, is keen into it to practice it perfectly. So today we are enjoying it and we are seeing the beauty of it. Let me tell you, even secondarians are now participating in democracy. They are looking at what is the difference between legislative, the judicial, and the executive arms of government. They can tell you the differences, and they can tell you where the lapses is. A child of primary schools will tell you where Mr. President is getting it wrong, and where the Mr. President is getting it right, and where the Chief Justice. Look, it is now at the doorstep of every Nigerian, and we appreciating it. This is the beauty of what? Of democracy in the 21st century. And let me tell you, by the time we get it right, it is not Nigerians that will tell the senators what to do. The SUV they are buying is expensive, not expensive. It will come to a point whereby it will be a point blank. Whatever they are doing, the moment they are putting their pen, they knew quite all that, look, Nigerians below the age of 18 are reading what they are doing. And they are what? They are mastering the game, and they will tell them, no, it's wrong. Before you take your breakfast, a child of 6 years will tell daddy, the decision you have taken yesterday was wrong. It's against what? The constitution of Nigeria and Nigeria's interest. So this is why we are marching towards. And good and fine. And this is the beauty of democracy. We are all enjoying it well. Let's go and see what will happen. I'm telling you, by the time Tinubu gets it wrong these 4 years, if he eventually gets it wrong, the next 4 years will be what? A judgment year for him for his second tenure. And PDP spent 16 years.
And APC has spent 8 years.
8 years. This is the third term, making 12. If he got it wrong, they only have a window space of what? Of another 4 years. The moment they get it wrong within these 16 years, let me tell you, Nigerians will rally around against another party, another candidate that will carry the flag of the common man and tell you we are going to get into the promised land.
But for how long will we keep recycling and going round and round in circle? When are we actually going to get it right? Why can't we start now?
Mercy, what an interesting question. Go back to the developed country. Rome was not built in a day. Any developmental process or achievement that have been achieved in any sphere of life is a what? Is a step-by-step process. You understand now? You metamorphosize from one state to the other. So the moment you are getting it wrong, look, the next generation will say, look, these people got it wrong at this stage. So we need to change the tactics. The practice of what? Of FEDECO in the Third Republic, that was 1979, is today not the practice of what? Of INEC. At the beginning, in 1999, INEC doesn't have what we call the beavers. Today we have the electronic process that has become part of what? Of Nigerian electionary process. And today it has come that, look, we are trying to institutionalize it into a Nigerian constitution that no matter how, if the mandate of electronic process is not being given to the people and not being practiced as expected at the highest level of democracy in Nigeria and the election will be questionable in Nigeria.
Okay, all right. We'll wrap up soon, and I'd like to leave us with this note, but I'm going to ask one more question to our gentleman in the studio, and that last question would be on what the presidency has said about Peter Obi. I'm sorry, we're taking us back. In one of the papers this morning, that's the Nation newspaper, presidency tackles Obi over attack on Supreme Court, and they've said the ex-Anambra governor should find another vocation. And we talk about throwing jabs with political parties. Don't you think the presidency has other issues to settle instead of actually answering Peter Obi?
Well, that's what exactly he's supposed to say. But it's not still bad because this is democracy. Whatever he has in his mind, he can produce it to Nigerians. The Book, of course, he should just concentrate on his key things that he wants to bring to Nigeria, because the die is cast. Can't go back now. Okay. Obi is gone.
Okay,
right. So I think there's just nothing bad when he says this.
Okay, all right. In 2 minutes, Dr. Suleiman.
You see, I'm done with Peter Obi issue. You understand now? For Mr. President to come out and said, look, what he said is wrong, or it's not expected of Peter Obi, because he's a president. He needs to talk. He needs to defend that the sanctity of the apex courts. Okay. Yes, he needs to protect it, and because he is the #1 citizen, and it's under his jurisdiction to make sure that, look, the rule of law are being respected in Nigeria. Okay. That is it.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Suleiman, and Abubakar, Mustapha Abubakar. Thank you for joining us today in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Suleiman. We hope we'd have you guys one more time in the studio, of course, when we have lengthy time to discuss issues bordering on the polity. And our viewers at home, this is where we wrap it up for today. Thank you for staying tuned on the program. And today, we couldn't turn on our phone calls, unfortunately, because we had too much to talk about. See you same time, same station tomorrow. I remain Messi Babajide. Bye.